Om Sahanavavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Vidyam Karvavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma Vishabhai. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Today we will take the verse number 24 from the second chapter as the starting point and then glide along. For the sake of appropriate expression, he gave the title as Glimpses of IVANMUKHTA from Ashtavakra Gita. Actually, there is no expression. You can say glimpses of that or glimpses of ... It's going to be, he can assure one thing, it's going to be a very, very relevant session or pour for sadhakas lit up with mumukshatva and proceeding towards the purpose of their birth. It's going to be highly relevant throughout their remaining life. He can assure you that. Mayyanantamaham bodho Chittavate prashamyati Abhagyat jiva vanija Jagat pota vinashvara. In the limitless great ocean of myself, as the winds of consciousness subside, the moving boat of miserable jiva, abhagya jiva vanija, the moving boat of the miserable jiva, the trader, perishes. The jiva hitherto has been exchanging his vasanas as a trader with the vasanas of the world while traveling in his ship, his world, his samsara. He reached out to others. Let his individuality, his ego, his vasanas trade or interact with the ego vasanas of others. And what he did, the combined effect of what we call as impressions, the combined effect of the barter exchange of his vasanas and their vasanas, whatever came out as a result, He packed them all and gathered in bags and stored in his ship. What did he store? Lot of vasanas. He could have remained silent in his world of samsara, but he deliberately, that's what we do, jivas do, deliberately stopped the ship, halted the ship, and went out, reached out, and invited others and say, I will give you my vasanas, you give your vasanas, let us exchange. That is how he interacted or acted with the world, and he back collected. What impact it did for the other traders, we don't know. But for sure, this jiva collected lot of vasana. His world of samsara, his ship is filled with bags and bags of vasanas. What all vasanas are, what are all the things, even let us not even say vasanas, what are all the things which he would have stored in his life or in his several lives, which he has collected in his bag, in his world of samsara, in his ship? What are all the possible accumulations of bags in his world? Vasanas at physical level, physical desires, vasanas of the physical indulgence, enjoyments in the past, or vasanas of physical enjoyments which he or they were deprived of in the past. This is accumulated. They are not to be related to any one, limited to only one particular thing. Physical could be, it could cover a lot of things. Anything related to glorifying identity of his being. There could be many. He leaves you to imagine what are all the possible things at physical level. Some of the things could be presenting oneself at the best level physically, desires at the physical level, glorifying the body mind at all levels. So this could be broad classification. Under that micro level, there could be innumerable vasanas of experiences gained or disappointments of experiences not gained. Comparison at physical level, BM level with others, and gaining superiority or inferiority complexes, etc. It's a very broad term. Impressions at emotional level. This might relate to various relations the jiva has had, various experiences emotionally at emotional level from various associations from childhood till now. The experiences might be good or bad or worse or worst or excellent. Mind carries impression of all such experiences, positive or negative. Impressions related to one's own recognition. This relates to various experiences the jiva has had related to recognitions, appreciations the jiva has got in any field of activity. Any field of activity. While fulfilling his duties, while living in the society, while dealing with the society. The recognition could be from outside, the recognition could be from within, own heart, which is reflected as sense of pride. It could be even negative recognition, like humiliations, insults, censures faced, while engaging in any field of activity, any field of activity. Impressions about the world. This is the last and the subtlest to leave. For decades or for birds, several birds, one might have been carrying impressions about many in his own small world. These expressions, the experiences or impressions are mostly out of experiences gained by oneself. Sometimes the jiva might not have gained experiences directly, but the jiva might have heard about someone or few from others, and that hearing per se would have resulted in him, the jiva, carrying impressions about the others, though directly he or she has not had experience with that person. The impressions may be as a result of fulfilled or unfulfilled desires. It may be good, it may be bad. As long as the mind gets free from godly thoughts, from meditation, from the teachings of the Shrutis or instructions or teachings from Guru, half an hour in a day, if the mind is free from these things, or incessant devotion, love towards God, as long 15 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour, 4 hours, to the extent the mind is left free from this spiritual sadhana, the mind travels at more than lightning speed to fetch these impressions and to live in these impressions. Intellectual impression about one's own intellectual level, one's own knowledge of either worldly level knowledge, academic knowledge, or knowledge of scriptures. Last but not the least, though covered in a very subtle way, but he wanted to put it explicitly, all the disappointments, all the disillusionments, when someone whom you have trusted the most, more than or as much as you would have trusted, they have caused you harm at any level. These disillusions, these are All these are the hundreds of bags you have stored in your ship of samsara, and you are experiencing the contents of the bags as the sailor Jiva with ego. And your world of samsara is moving. You are leading the life sojourn with all these bags of impressions, experiences, appointments, disappointments, disillusionments, etc. For listing out this, he went through his own life, and he went through lives of few around him or many around him, and daily he used to add a stroke, add an expression, so that all of those experiences of himself prior to realization or many others, all of them. Mostly, if you listen to the second and third time, there will not be anything, any other bag left out, possibly. Everything has been covered. Then comes a phase in one's life, love of God session, when one turns towards God, one turns towards purpose of birth. With God and Guru's grace, the Jiva takes up sadhana seriously. What happens? In the penultimate stage, where one is approaching self-realization, all these, whatever is coming up, they are all the leaves falling apart one by one, from you, the trunk, you, the tree of consciousness. He is repeating so that you can live with this session throughout your life till the time you realize itself. All the physical desires, any impressions of earlier physical desire fulfillment, all of them have dried. All of them have drowned, lost their identity forever, having fallen off of as dry leaf, or have drowned in the ocean of consciousness, when his world, the ship, he, the jiva, the bags of vasanas, all longingness, all emotions about all objects, all relations, all human beings, all associations, drowned, dried. Both are very appropriate. So, in your contemplation, you can take up sometimes the dry leaf part with reference to all this, or sometimes you can take up the ocean, the ship along with the bags, and you yourself, the jiva, all of them getting drowned. Even emotions about spouse, children, parents, relations, etc. To the extent they used to arise out of attachment earlier, drowned. At the very micro level, to give you the intensity, he has even written down this line at micro level. Even for side devotees to go to sadhan, sit, practice, sing, drowned, fallen off. Going? Okay. You rise beyond going and not going. How does drowning should be in this context? Note this. How this drowning, how this falling off as real dry life really, when your turn is about to come, the previous singer is singing. This will not happen. But you should see, you should validate yourself whether you have reached that state where the drowning or the drying is total. Previous singer is singing, a note comes from somewhere, some urgent announce or something very abnormal. So mic is snatched away from you. Is your feeling, has your feeling drowned totally? Has your feeling for that sinking dried? If it is dried, if it is drowned, sink. If it is not dried, not drowned, give a gap. It should be to that total extent. Nothing less than that. All the vasanas, all the desires, all the attachments, all hatred, all longing for unfulfilled desires, all of them, this he wrote yesterday morning. Drowned, how they should drown, how they should get immersed. Because now you have reached the penultimate stage of self-realization. So, the drowning should happen in a way that the solid vasanas are very subtle, they are not solid, but just to give you relate so that you can relate to what he is going to say. Imagine all the bags, gunny bags of all the vasanas experiences gathered so far, fill in your world of samsara boat. Imagine all were solid substances which will not drown, which will float when you put them in the ocean. They were all so solid that they are like the balloons or like the tires. They will keep on floating. They will never drown. But in the power of your sadhana, when you have reached the penultimate state in your self-realization, in your goal, the vasanas have lost their intensity, they have lost their strength, they have lost their power and potency to create any disturbance in you, and like solid becoming liquid, a solid substance becoming fluid. Okay, all of them, the inside contents in the bags have all become salt. And the bags along with your boat of samsara is drowning. Then what he is saying, your sadhana chatushtaya, your mumukshatva, you are being into sessions, you are living in the sessions, so much so that what one verse says, even master idler, where even opening of eyes is a disturbance. Okay, like that, your actions, your dharma in this world, not a disturbance, but disturbance should be taken this way. You should be so much disassociated with the worldly dharma, worldly actions which you have to do, you have to perform. You are so disassociated with them. Why? That disassociation cannot happen by deliberation, cannot happen by false commitments. That disassociation can be attached to detach. That disassociation can happen only with if you are 14 hours, 12 hours only in the pose, only in the essence of the posts. The posts being guideposts, you have taken the essence of the pore and you have gone beyond the finite expressions or words of the pore, and you are living in the essence of the pore from dawn to dusk. This kind of craving, this kind of attachment, or not attachment, this kind of living in the essence of the teachings only can result in your total disassociation from all other duties. Otherwise, it will not happen. If this living in the essence of the pose, living the essence of the instructions of Acharya, teachings of Mother Shruti, if this is not total, this is not wholesome, then it will be the other way. You will be involved totally, physically, mentally, intellectually, in all ways. You will be drowned in your duties, in your dharma, in your actions, and a man can justify anything. He can say what to do. I have to do all these things. This is my duty. If I don't involve totally, then how can I perform? How can I justify my duties? N number of justifications are there. Again, nobody will judge you. Your guru will not judge you. God will not judge you. Nobody will punish you. It is up to you and you alone. They can guide you. Nobody can grant you liberation. They can guide you. So, if the reverse, mostly the reverse way happens. He is not citing at any one particular sadhaka, but mostly generally what happens, you are drowned in, you are totally involved physically, mentally, emotionally, intellectually, as the case may be, depending upon the action, you are totally involved in your action throughout and trying to live the essence of session for half an hour. Your bags and bags of vasanas, experiences, impressions, they will never lose their potency, they will never become salt. And when they never become salt, even if you put them in the ocean, they will float. They will keep on haunting you for several births. In this case, they have become bags of salt, bags of vasanas, powerful, potent vasanas, aggressive vasanas have become salts, or ready, totally ready to lose their identity, merge with the ocean of consciousness, never to come to the surface level at all. That is your last birth. You are not going to be reborn. From now onwards, for the next you maybe 20 minutes or 25 minutes, your expressions of this process of your bags dissolving, you the Jiva merging, your world of samsara ship merging. The process of this merging, your expressions, your journey, he is whispering. So you glide along with him. These are all your expressions. When that stage comes, penultimate stage comes when your boat, you the Jiva, the bags of V's, all are going to drown. He is whispering on your behalf. This part is again another penultimate song of sadhakas he is giving today. So glide along with him. This journey is exactly the last day of Meera in that Gujarat temple when she goes inside. This journey is exactly like that. That was in bhakti, love. This is in wisdom. Gather all your strength, gather all your intensity to travel yourself when somebody is giving voice to your journey. Me, the Jiva, having traveled with my body, mind as sailor in my own world ship, I am getting the intuition that my final moment of drowning, realizing, is approaching. Me along with my world of samsara ship, I can feel that I am slowly, steadily drowning. For a fraction of a second, this thought comes to me. In the past, till the time I lived with my body identity fully, any drowning would mean death because I am the body. The body is drowning. That means I am dying. How painful or how dreadful it would have been in the past if I knew I am drowning. Wonder of wonders. Rather than getting panic or fearful about the drowning, I am enjoying this moments of slowly, steadily drowning. This drowning is also death. But I know this is not a death in the normal sense. My ignorance, my jiva identity is getting drowned. The death of my ignorance is not the end for me. It is giving birth to something else. my jivahood, my niyam, my world. Of course, with all those powerless salt bags of vasanas, they are drying, they are drowning, I am dying, but out of this death, I am not reborn, but I have found, I have discovered my original existence, and the BM is drowning, dying, and where it is drowning? It is drowning in the ocean of consciousness. So, I have discovered my original existence, identity as indivisible part, indivisible ocean of consciousness. Nityorma Amritam Ramaya. From darkness to light, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. From ephemeral to eternal, Asatoma Satgamaya. From death of my body to the eternal, illumined, birthless, deathless existence. Self. What is happening to me now? As though your replica, your same identity is there in front of you as your conscience and is conversing with you. You are two. One is you, the other one is talking to you, your conscious, same form. Similarly, lo and behold, I am drowning, drowned, drowned, gone, finished. But upon the drowning of my ego, my vasanas, my samsara, my jivahood, like the two, you and your conscience, both having the same structure, same form, I can feel, I can experience that a replica of me is re-emerging. Amazing. I am the replica of the Jiva who has drowned and died. I am telling replica because apparently I have re-emerged with the same body of the one who has drowned and died. But there is a difference. Me, the Jiva, with ego from head to toe, with all my vasanas gathered, died. Now death is over, finished, gone. Along with the salt bags, I also become salt and I am drowned, finished. But upon that death, I have re-emerged miraculously with the same body, as though same structure, but without ego, without the jiva identity. How and why? Like in the during the yajna, like from the fire, the sage could create a divine being for some purpose. Similarly, the ocean of consciousness, since it is just the ocean of consciousness and nothing else, it has brought me to the surface level. And since I have re-emerged from and as indivisible essence of the ocean of consciousness, there was no other option for the ocean of consciousness but to bring me to the surface level, apparently with the same form, but with the essence of itself, the ocean of consciousness. I have re-emerged like the two, one and other one conscious. Here, me, the jiva with ego, drowned, died. The same form, maybe some duties are left out, some prarabdha is left out, the same form, but in essence, the same consciousness. I am re-emerged. How will be my existence with this re-emergence and rediscovery? Few glimpses from Ashtavakra Gita verses. They may be from different chapters and they may not be in sequence, so don't even try to reach out to the chapters per se. Okay, in your full life, leftover life, anytime when you are so immersed in this core that you want to go back to the talk on the bus, oh, you may do so. But for now, just your song, your expression is continuing through these verses upon your re-emergence as consciousness. So glide along. He is pouring for you on your behalf. The liberated one is found everywhere, abiding in the self, and is undefiled by desires under all conditions. Freed from all vasanas, he revels in self. This had to be the most appropriate expression upon your re-emergence as consciousness, because just now, a while before, your vasanas have drowned. Okay, so it had to be, the expression had to be freed from vasanas. So what the sadhaka sings when the sadhaka goes through this expression, the sadhaka sings in elated, in excitement, existing as consciousness. I am free now from all vasanas. The bags of vasanas carried for several births in the boat samsara, drowned when we the jiva drowned, and my ship samsara drowned. I now abide in self with no desires in any condition. Aho, the wise one who sees the same everywhere sees no difference between happiness and misery, man and woman, fortune and misfortune. The sadhaka song continues. I can see no difference now. I can comprehend no duality anymore. May it be between a man and a woman, happiness or misery, fortune or misfortune. If I have to, for enjoying and dancing without legs on this particular verse, with my existence as consciousness, if I have to go to my past birth or somewhere, some hundreds of birth, maybe the dying has happened just now, but it is as though hundreds of births before. If I have to say with reference to that, I can only say, if still I was carrying my vasanas with me, maybe I would have felt the difference between man, woman, misery, and fortune, etc. But that has ground, maybe I don't know. It is beyond time, it is beyond space. In which birth it happened, I don't know. This is the beauty of re-emergence or rediscovering your existence as consciousness. The past seems to be so far, so old that sometimes it becomes even to bring back your memory of those experiences, because the salt bags are dissolved in the substratum ocean of consciousness. Devoid of the feelings of I-ness and the minus, knowing for certain that nothing is, and with the inner desires melted away, he does not act though he may appear to be acting. Oh yes, I have now re-emerged as, in essence, as consciousness, but still to clear the prarabdha, still to continue till my death, never to be reborn, even physically again. Maybe I have to undergo some action. So, in this sequence, this verse, this essence of this verse has to come here. It falls in place here, because it says he does not act though he may appear to be acting. The I-ness got wrecked, got totally dissolved when my ship got wrecked and immersed in the ocean of consciousness. Minus can be there only if I-ness precedes minus. As he often tells, 100 times he tells, Ganesha's song can happen only with 3 Oms chanted. When there is no I-ness, where is minus? How can I relate to any of my actions from now on? Though for the world I may appear to be acting. Am I still taking up actions? Am I still acting? I am not aware. Blown by the wind of the effects of the past actions, the desireless, independent, free, and liberated person moves about like a dry leaf. I had asked once, Guru, the realized one has his BMI still working. How can he get rid of all these impressions when the faculty, equipment, body, mind are very much active? My Guru had answered, your BM is there. But internally, for the one who has merged in the ocean of consciousness and existing as indivisible ocean of consciousness, the body mind is so far from him, like the dry leaf that has fallen apart from the tree. Owning the body, thinking about the past, all these are only at the level of mind. When the body mind has left me like the leaves have left the tree, then me, the self, can no more carry any of the impressions of those dry leaves, the body mind which has left me already. Beauty here is this I have realized only upon my body getting drowned and my re-emergence as consciousness. Before that, if my Guru had taught this, I would not have actually 100% been able to relate to this, but now I can relate. The beauty is that me, the tree, the trunk, consciousness, never deliberated or never desired or never felt that the leaf, my body mind, should leave me. I had no hatred for the body mind either. But upon my existence as consciousness, the leaves, the body mind, realized that they can no more get the nourishing, get the care, get the pampering as they used to get before, prior in the past, when I identified with them. They know that this tree consciousness is no more going to relate to us, no more going to get associated with us, no more going to feed us and pamper us. So, we have died our death. So, it is not that I hated and I instructed my body mind to leave me, but they realized that they have died. The tree consciousness is not relating itself with me anymore. That means between a husband and wife at a home, when they are not relating to each other at all, then the coexistence is totally superfluous. Or any two human beings living together, it is all superfluous. It doesn't mean anything actually. Similarly, the leaves have realized that the tree doesn't love them anymore. The tree doesn't pamper them anymore. The tree doesn't identify the leaves as an essential part without which the tree cannot. It is not thinking that way. So there is no use clinging on to this. Now I am not going to get feeded by this tree consciousness, so I will die. or I have almost died. Gracefully, let me separate myself from the tree with saluting the tree of consciousness. I did not order them to leave me. They prostrated and they felt like dying. This a sadhaka can experience only upon realization and existing as the tree consciousness or the substratum ocean consciousness. And this expression also can emerge only from the one who is existing as consciousness, because this is not to be found in scriptures, not to be found in any commentary. It comes as source. Be in heaven, be in beggary, be in gain, be in loss, be in the company of society or lonely in forest. There is no difference to the yogin who is free from desire and agitations. All these extremes expressed in the verse are related to the body mind with ego. It is the body mind which lives the life of a beggary or heavenly rich, suffers gain or loss, feels that it lives in a society or forest. In the past life, hundreds of births before, sometimes, it is my ego which used to make me feel all the duality expressed in the verse. That body, that mind which could feel all these expressions, the duality, somewhere several births before, I don't even know which birth, they were drowned. In finite words, if I can share secretly, though with finite words, what is my real existence now upon my re-emergence, I can only say in finite words, I am Satyam Ananda. Nothing else. He has gained the fruit of knowledge as well as the fruit of practice of yoga, who contented and purified his senses, ever revels in his aloneness indeed. Now I have talked about my re-emergence and still living in the world, and the world is seeing me acting. I don't know I am acting. The world sees me with my body. I know I have realized that the body has fallen apart like dry leaf. When the body has gone away from me like the dry leaf, then what is my existence now? Kaivalya. The whole ocean of consciousness is in Kaivalya, and I am the indivisible ocean of consciousness, also in Kaivalya. The body has left me in a dry leaf. Now it is now gone and somewhere in sands. It symbolizes the body exactly because the body is born out of earth and it goes back into the earth when it is cremated. Similarly, the body symbolizing that being born out of earth and being going back to earth, it has merged in some sands, it has gone, finished. Now what is my existence? ever revels in aloneness indeed. Let me end this sequence, the glimpse from Ashtavakra Gita, which my Guru has imparted me, verse by verse. This sums up, or this ends, or this concludes beautifully my existence upon my re-emergence as consciousness. The knower of truth knows no misery in the world, for the whole universe is filled by himself alone. This verse even supersedes or even takes the body falling apart as dry leaf, even like my Acharya used to give one pour and take back the previous pour. It takes back the falling upon of dry leaf into itself. When I say the whole universe is filled by me alone, the creation is within me. All the bodies are within me. So, my body which has fallen apart, I am not negating it has fallen apart. It has fallen apart. It has that as a dry leaf merged and lying somewhere beneath the sands. That dry leaf with that sand, with that earth, with all the five elements, with the space, with everything is inside. Ishavasya. But at that existence, I am not even aware that the creation is within me, or not even aware that I pervade the entire creation. I just exist. Just is. Only this is Satyam, Satyam, Satyam. After I have sung this song of my existence, the Guru says, sit stilled in Mahamaunam. Let me take you through some few glimpses from the Gita before we end this endless, beginningless poem. Which exactly reflects your journey from ego to ocean of consciousness. Let me take you through your life, your journey from the ephemeral to eternal through couple of verses from the Gita. Be stilled and enjoy this, your life traveling from ego to God. Casting aside all impure tendencies by the pristine vasana left by the practice of the absolute existence consciousness bliss. is all and that I ever am. And subsequently effacing even that tendency that I am the absolute existence, consciousness, bliss. My son, now the Guru is addressing you, the sadhakas, my son or my daughter, my child, you will be established in the perfect full absorption in and as the non-dual supreme Brahman itself and attain the liberation of being the undifferentiated, undivided one. Having disassociated from the imaginings of all other thoughts by the conviction of being the undivided absolute and forgetting even the said conviction of being the absolute, you yourself abide the perfectly full supreme Brahman. In the undivided form of our Supreme Lord in a state of sublime, joyous dance that says, by the conviction that I am ever the reality, which is existence, consciousness, bliss, and by the state of abiding at one with that being, that itself, the empty bondage of the world can be cut asunder and pure liberation attained. We will end today this beginningless, endless, timeless, spaceless board with a song of bliss sung by the sage from Anandamudar in IVANMUKHTA Gita. He titles this as Ekashloki Upanishad. It could not find an appropriate end to today's book. So he sings the song sung by his master Shivananda Maharaj. Aham Brahmasmi Shivoham Soham Satchitananda Swarupoham Prajnanam Brahma Aham Brahmasmi Tattvamasi Ayamatma Brahma Nirgunoham Niranjanoham Nirmaloham Bhaskaroham Brahmanandoham Chidganoham Chinmayoham Chidanandoham Kaivalyoham Kevaloham Deho Naham Jivo Naham Brahmaivaham Satyam Jagat Kalpana Jiva Kalpana Shivoham Satyam. I am not this body, I am not this Jiva, I am Brahman, I am. World is unreal, Jiva is unreal, Shivoham is the truth. And that I am. So glimpses from the Ashtavakra Gita, you saw the practical application as the glimpse in 3 parts earlier, how to act